Well, the Havenhurst studio is located in a guest house here at the Jacksons' property at their home. And this studio was used for recording demos, and I worked with Michael recording and developing his ideas, his songs, his arrangements, his productions for the Bad album.
Over 2-3
he always
year
looked
period
good.
of time.
You know, everything he ever wore. Can I just roll this back?
Production.
Even down to this, right? He always looked good. I even love his hat in this one. Oh, you know,
For the Bad album.
just anywhere, any time.
It was just a nonstop work in progress. The number of demos that we worked on for Bad was 60, maybe 65 demos.
When I received
Wow.
the demos, they were in really good shape at that time.
I guess I didn't realize it at the time, but what we were doing was we were forming the B team. Quincy always called his team the A team. His engineer, Bruce Swedeen,
John Robinson on drums,
arranger, Jerry Hay.
Nathan East on bass, keyboards would have been Greg Fillinganes.
Rings
I started with
bells,
Michael
actually.
here at
I've heard a lot of
Havenhurst,
these
and
names.
we were the kind of
in
the
front
initial
round.
team, which was John Barnes, myself, Michael, Bill Bottrell, Chris Correll.
And then at times, other musicians would come in. The most prominent would be David Williams, who's no longer with us.
And in some ways,
that's
I
sad.
think Michael kind of liked that vibe. He kind of liked the vibe of, having a little competition to see who could come up with the best thing. I think this is one of the things that he learned from his Motown days. This is something he learned from Berry Gordy.
Baby
We weren't
Michael.
making demos. We were making records.
Anybody else would be perfectly happy to accept a Michael demo as a finished record. Let me put it that way.
We would work every single day on creating individual sounds for songs that were going to ultimately be on the record. We would record them, re-record them, different keys, different speeds, different instrumentation. And so that became kind of an experiment in how far could we push.
And Michael would say, it starts in this very room. And from this room, it goes out and it spreads over the entire world. It's quite an experience to be back here in the Havenhurst studio, just as it was when I last left it almost 25
I've
years ago.
seen the outside of this in an interview of his. Fantastic little interview. My favorite so far. And I think it is such a lovely house, lovely home.
We never knew what we were going to do when we showed up, coming to the studio. If Michael was inspired, we followed it. So this is Michael singing multiple harmony parts. This is Michael double tracking the mid, the low, the high parts. There's actually 10 tracks of Michael singing his own backgrounds on this song.
The way you make me feel, you really turn me on.
Yeah. Layers of
You knock
Michael.
me off my feet.
You can hear
There's multiple layers. It's easier when it's isolated that you can actually hear each individual part. And then it's like he must have sung the same part of the song over and over. But it's like he's just layered it all together to make this amazing sound, this amazing tune.
the difference in sound quality from being out here in the music room to walking into the bathroom. Now, this room is one of Michael's favorite places because of the nature of the surfaces in this room. One of the things that we would do is we would record with the door to the shower open, much more reflective, a lot of what we call early reflection, a lot of...
So, most of the sound you hear off this album, or some of it at least, might have well been filmed in a bathroom. Without the bath, it's a shower room, really, is what it is.
Brightness, a lot of reinforcement
Toilet.
of how things sounded.
Oh, Stevie Wonder. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Like the style you walk, you talk, you're just living from make me feel. I know that. Really turn me on. Keeping me up on my feet now, baby. Lonely days are gone.
I love that, man. It's awesome.
Met with Quincy Jones and Frank to find out what they were looking for in the video. And they said, basically, we want to take Michael to another level, especially with his relationships with women. Then I talked to Michael, and I said, where do you want it to happen? He said, Skid Row. We wanted a long prequel, just like they did in Bad. I contacted August Wilson.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I'm from Pittsburgh, and August was from Pittsburgh.
So what did August say?
No, he said no. I did this little documentary about the guys on the street accosting girls, real stuff. And showed it to Michael. He looked at it and actually said, could we make the video look like this? Because it was all handheld and jerky. And I said, sure, if that's what you want. You sure you want that? He said, yeah.
Get out of here! Check out that rear end. Don't touch my head, man. You're acting like a little
The start of this, right? Because it's actually quite a long, short film, and most people only watched the cut down version of it. But there is quite a long intro, which is quite interesting, and it's even quite funny, to be honest. Some of the dialogue had me in stitches. It's like the first time I watched that was...
In the video, we had the V-13s down here on this corner, and the Crips on this corner.
So they were real.
Some of the guys were smoking. And Michael came to me and says, Joe, the guys are smoking down there. You know, it's kind of bothersome. And I just turned and said, will you fucking guys quit fucking smoking? And Michael looked like he almost panicked. He almost hid behind me because it's all these gang members. We had cops everywhere, though, so it wasn't a big problem.
Hey! Can you guys stop smoking? I wouldn't say that to a big gang, man.
When he sees the girl, he did a thing with his finger going. Happened once. My brother was operating the camera and caught it. I said, oh my God, thank God.
Michael had the best sounding fingers, didn't he?
I don't remember which song it is, but on Bad, he has a credit for finger snaps.
Yeah.
One of the most amazing moments that I remember was Michael walking, and catches up to Tatiana and sings for the first time.
You knock me off of my feet now, baby.
Everything stopped.
I love that
We had to
bit.
stop shooting because people just froze.
Yeah.
They actually froze.
It's fantastic, man.
So to play a shuffle like that for 12 minutes is not easy.
Michael's mother, she has this song in mind. She says, Michael, you gotta come up with a song that has this real shuffling kind of rhythm. And Michael says, okay, yeah, I'll see what I can come up with.
Shuffles have, a unique rhythm where most songs you hear are kind of linear. Like shuffles kind of, have an extra rhythmic element going on.
You can have a cowbell underneath the backbeat to reinforce the sound. None of the backbeat that you hear on that album is going to have just a basic, typical snare drum sound.
No.
I record the drums on a wooden platform. It minimizes what is called secondary pickup, which is where the other mics in the room pick up from those sound sources. And then we got the idea, why doesn't Michael stand on that when he sings? And he did, and it sounds glorious.
The way that it was all put together, all the little sounds, all the little whatever, it all goes so well, and it was all tested, and it was all put together. And
my first album ever as a little girl. And I cried and cried to my mom to begged her to please buy this for me. I would play this like crazy and dance with it. I mean, this was a dream.
I can't react to the Jackson 5 or the Jacksons. I can't do it. But I have started to slowly make my way through their catalogue on my own. And as I go through, maybe at some point I might do a video where I just go through a few of my favorites of the Jacksons and Jackson 5 and whatever. I'll go through a few of my favorites with you, but I just won't be able to play the songs, unfortunately. But it might just, satisfy a scratch and an itch,
True. This was something I had fantasized and dreamed about since I was 5 or 6 years old.
The girl that we finally chose, Tatiana, wasn't in my first 5. I didn't like her. And I showed Frank,
such a pretty woman,
Leo, his manager, the casting tape, and he said, that girl's running around with Prince, and Michael finds out, he'll be upset. And that girl's running around with so-and-so, I'm not gonna name names. I can't say because it was Quincy Jones, I think, as I remember.
Wow.
She seemed physically to be the female version of Michael Jackson. There may have been in his head an interesting idea about, wow, this is almost kind of my perfect complement.
She was the finest thing around at that time, and I wanted to be Michael. I wanted to be Michael walking right beside her, standing on cars and I wanted to be Michael that day.
Heck yeah, man. That feels exactly the same. One of my favorite videos, actually almost all of his videos, all of his short films, right? They are all iconic. They all get stuck in your head and very, very memorable, The way, as they were saying, with the finger snaps, right? You lock me off of my feet now, baby. Whee! Oh. Never goes out your head, man.
I first got hooked up with Quincy through Los Angeles called Seawind. We were playing at a club. Quincy, always being at the forefront of finding new talent, heard about us as a horn section. Called up one night, Jerry, this is Quincy Jones. What? Yeah, you want to play on a record? Of course. You want to do an arrangement? Oh, okay. He said, how about tomorrow? And that was kind of the beginning of this 30-plus year relationship with Quincy. The horn players are 2 saxophone players, Kim Hutchcroft and Larry Williams. The trumpet player, Gary Grant. The trombone player, Bill Reichenbach. Vamp out. Again, 2 trumpets, 2 saxes.
The day of the audition, I wore a dance skin, a black dress with boots and bracelets, bangles, which was kind of like my signature thing at the time. And I heard that Michael liked my look. He liked
she still looks good, man.
Style of what I had done, so he kept that.
We created a complete look for her. Hair, extensions, and we changed her makeup completely.
I had 2 dresses at the time, right? One was pink, one was black. And the black one was kind of like reminiscent of a Tatiana dress. That's where I was living.
The Way You Make Me Feel video, when he's chasing the girl around, that was kind of how I pictured my Baby video. We kind of based it off of that. In my video, you can see he's like, I'm gonna bowling
Can
alley.
I just say, I hate bloody Baby. Most of his early stuff was, I didn't like it. I do not like Justin Bieber's early stuff. But some of his later stuff is actually not too bad. I've listened to one of his really recent songs, and it wasn't bad. It's like my mind is slowly changing with Justin Bieber. He was very annoying at one point, and he had a lot of bad press. But now he's sort of making up for it a little bit, and he's sort of growing up, And yeah, so that's my opinion.
It's kind of like a modern version of chasing her around, trying to, get her to like me.
Micah called me and said, I told Joe Pytka, who's going to direct it, that I wasn't going to do any dancing. But the more I listen to it, I think I want to put some dancing in there. Could you go to a studio and work on some stuff maybe, and then I'll come in and join you? And Joe came in to see what we were doing, and he heard this music going on, and he was like, what the heck's going on in here?
I see this beautiful piece being choreographed, but the idea that I had for the video didn't have a place for that. We had to very quickly improvise where to put that. That's where we came up with the fire hydrant idea.
said, this entire section where they hump the floor.
Fans were always bombarding me with the question, why does he chase you throughout the video only for a hug and not a kiss? Joe Pytka, the director, he whispered in my ear right before the very last scene where we hug. And he told me, he said, don't kiss him.
Don't kiss him.
I felt the kiss was too corny. I'm not even sure I wanted him to get that close. I wanted to maybe stop it here. But it worked out with the caress and the hug and everything like that.
He says, because you were originally supposed to kiss, but Michael's too shy for that, so don't kiss him. When Michael did finally come out, and we got close and we hugged, I could smell like a minty fresh scent from his breath. Yeah, so
that was a signal.
I kind of think
you
he
should have went for it.
He's probably getting ready for it.
Being told not to kiss him and that he couldn't handle it, he was too shy. I didn't want to take advantage like that.
Oh, listen, Tatiana was not shy. She was not a shy girl. And in fact, going on with this story a little bit, she was told definitely, don't kiss Michael.
That's so...
on stage.
He was complaining she was becoming too aggressive on stage and everything. And I made a joke.
I don't know. I think that it's nice that it was a caress and it wasn't a kiss. Maybe he was right, saying it would have been a bit corny, predictable, you know?
I said, Mike, why don't you just go fuck her? You know, fuck her one night. Get it over with.
The heck?
She's laughing. And Frank says, what the hell are you doing? I got enough goddamn trouble here without you trying to get him involved with this girl.
But for me, it became policy because I said, okay, if Michael doesn't kiss in the video, I don't think anybody should kiss in the video. So since that day, I always edit out kisses in videos. And one in particular, Justin Bieber made a video. He was gonna kiss the girl, and I went crazy. And I went crazy, A, because he wanted to kiss the girl, and B, she was a black girl. And I was like, okay, you're about to mess up your whole thing, man.
Wow. So people really did take inspiration, you know?
No! Michael
So
Speed Demon is
crazy.
You know, a song that maybe
the entire blooming film was just craziness. Like, none of it made sense, but I loved it. I loved the cartoony feel, and in this particular music video with the claymation, flip, man, so well done, so well done.
Aren't as familiar with on the album, but it actually serves as a metaphor for the entire album. Because what Michael's trying to do with this album is escape from all the things that are confining him, all of the things that are suffocating him.